Shalom. I'm Rabbi Nathan Davidovich, speaking to you on behalf of the webYeshiva.org, speaking to you from Efrat, Israel. 1 week from Saturday night will begin Pesach, the holiday of Passover. Before Pesach, normally on the day before, the night before, we search for the chametz, we search for the leaven. This year, since Pesach comes out on the end of Shabbat, we can't search Friday night, so we do it Thursday night. I'm going to talk about Bedikat Chametz, the concept of searching for the chametz. We have a prohibition from the Torah, a very clear prohibition. It says, during the time of Pesach, you have to remove all leaven products from our house. We can neither have them in our possession nor see them in our house. And in preparation for this, first of all, we clean the house thoroughly, make sure there's no leaven that we don't know about, that we're not going to be using in the few permitted hours before Pesach. And then we do a search. The search is called Bedikat Chametz, searching for the chametz. Now, chametz is one of the chametz on Pesach. Leaven products on Pesach is one of the most stringent of the commandments, because even the slightest amount of leavened product, slightest amount of chametz, will nullify anything else, make anything else you eat in that mixture not permissible. Even a mashu, the slightest bit, which is unusual because other things have different measurements, where if a small amount falls in, sometimes it is okay. What is chametz? Chametz is something that comes from seor. What is seor? Seor is a leaven product, a yeast product. And what happens with the smallest amount of yeast, that you put into a mixture of dough, it expands and grows. Similarly, when we talk about chametz, and the reason the mashu is prohibited, the smallest amount is prohibited, is because the smallest amount of not following God's commandments leads to more and more problems. At this point, it's a small thing, and it's more and more problems. The concept of Bedikat Chametz is a process of not only physically finding the chametz that may be left in your house, the leavened products, but a process of self-analysis, of looking at yourself, looking deep inside yourself, seeing what is it that I have done that I should have done better. What should I have not done that didn't please God? The custom is that before Bedikat Chametz, we take 10 crumbs, 10 pieces of bread, and put them in various places around the house. Make sure you remember where you put them. And then we search for them. And in searching for them, before the search begins, we make a blessing. And we make a blessing on being able to destroy the chametz. And the question is asked as to why you're making a blessing when you know in advance where you put everything. Some people say you're making a blessing so it won't be a blessing in vain, that you will search and not find anything, and then you've made a blessing for nothing. That's not the case. The blessing is for the search. But let me tell you a couple of stories about what's important and what we're searching for. It says in the Mishnah, it says, Or Arba Aser Bodkin es Chametz L'or Haner. On the night of the 14th of Nisan, which this year is moved back to the 13th, we search for the chametz by the light of a candle. And the question is asked. The Rabbi Yeshua Babel's, so this lady asked the question, He says, why do we say we search the chametz, bodkin es chametz, not that we search the house? V'alo bodkin es habayis mina chametz shabo. Why do we say we search the house for the chametz that's within it? And he gives a story that illustrates this concept. He tells a story of two merchants who were traveling to a faraway place to sell their wares. They were very successful. They sold their wares long before they figured they would. They put all their money in a bag, and they're traveling back on foot to where they live. And they get tired along the way, and they want to find a place to rest. And they see looks like a secluded spot, and nothing around them except a bunch of cows, a herd of cows. And they figure they don't see anybody, any human being. So they figure, okay, we could lay down here. We'll put the money up in the tree, and it'll be safe there. Nobody's going to see it. There's nobody around. So they go to sleep. In the meantime, the herdsman who was with the cows saw what happened. He saw what they did. So he snuck up when they were sleeping and looked in the bag and found all the money there, and he decided he would take it. But he figured, wait a minute, if I just take it and start running away with the cows, that'll wake them up and they'll chase me and they'll catch me. And if I don't run away by just keep it, they're going to look for me. They're going to find me. So what does he do? He takes the bag, empties the cash out into his pockets, and fills the bag with an equal amount of dung from the cows, and hangs it back on the tree. And the merchants, and then he goes away. And the merchants wake up, and they see the cows, and they look up at the tree, and there's their money bag still there. So they're very happy. They pick it up, and they start carrying it away, and they go to the next destination. When they get to the destination they're going to, they open the bag, and they see all the money's gone, and it's filled with dung. And, oh my God, so what are we going to do? He says, we're going to have to go to court against the cows. Because the cows, they're the only ones who are around. The cows took the money. This is the foolishness of them. They were so foolish. They didn't think how silly it is. Can a cow climb a tree to get a bag of money? And can you have a din Torah, a judgment against the cow? No. So the story illustrates, the Belzer story illustrates how foolish we are. That we oftentimes look around, we see things, and we're searching for things within us, and we're going along. We should understand that when we're placed in this world, God gives us a bag to fill up. He gives us a sack, and we're supposed to fill this sack up with precious stones. What are the precious stones? Precious stones are the Torah and mitzvot that we do, the fulfillment of God's will in this world. Sometimes we go to sleep, and we let the Yetzer Hora, which is the symbol of Chametz, the evil inclination, take away all the good things we did and encourage us to do bad things. Encourage us to do everything that is against the will of God. And then when we wake up later on and we see what's going on, we look in our heart and see what's happening. What do we find? We find that all the good we thought we did has been replaced by bad. And because of that, instead of working to fix it, we become despondent. We have yiush, we give up hope. And that, if you only think, and you think about what happened, it's not that it's something that cannot be retrieved. You can retrieve the things in this sack, not by going after cows, but by doing the right thing, repenting, changing your ways. And that was one message. A person, it's up to a person to examine within himself the root of things that happen. What is chametz? Chametz is a desire to do those things that you shouldn't be doing. So we have to find the crumbs. We have to find the pieces of evil that the Yetzer Hora put within us and get rid of them. Now another question is asked of the story of, we put these 10 pieces of bread. It seems like a silly ruse. We're putting on 10 pieces of bread. We know they're going to be, and we go on this this search for them. So the Tzanzer Rebbe told a story about getting a blessing from a man who said that, why do we put out the crumbs? If we know where they're going to be. And he gives an example. He says, with the story of Joseph and his brothers, when the brothers left and the Egyptians put the goblet in the sack of Benjamin, they went searching for it. It says they searched for it. They knew where it was, but they searched for it and they found it. That was called searching. And the concept of Bedikat Chametz is to search for those things within us that are the crumbs of evil, things that we didn't do, to cancel them in our heart and do better, and then to burn them the next day. And how do we burn them? The Torah is light, and the mitzvos, the commandments, are light. And the power of the Torah and the mitzvos will give light to the Jew to know where this chametz is in his midst, to search for it, and then to destroy it. And I bless us all to have the self-awareness as we go into this Bedikat Chametz, to have self-introspection, look at those things that we are improperly attracted to, that are contrary to what God wants us to do, and do tshuva, do the right things, find these crumbs of things we're not supposed to do, get rid of them completely, burn them with the fire of the service of God with great intensity. Thank you for listening on behalf of the RebYeshiva.org. I wish everybody a wonderful Shabbat and a Chag Kosher Sameach, a happy, healthy Passover.